he finished the game with this.
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls
So yeah, I remember. Remember that. That was different. That was different. There's a lot of crazy moments in the bubble. Straight to it.
A professional athlete is out of shape. I'm very disappointed.
Luka's really hot right now. There was a lot of contact.
He got hit in the face.
Yeah, that's BS.
The reason why you don't see any effort on defense is because he don't have the energy nor the passion.
When did you realize? Well, like, you know what?
You don't
Look
got
in the
the
mirror,
energy. Nor the passion.
Hit one of these.
That is the 16th technical foul of the year for Luka Doncic. They just threw out Luka.
He's not in great shape.
You got to go full on pizza and
Beer.
to get like that.
To get that far out of shape, you got to really try.
You are back! You are back! You are back! You are back!
When it comes to young stars in the NBA, Luka Doncic is the NBA's golden child. At the age of just 24 years old, Luka has already been named to the All-NBA.
Honestly, I really do think it's kind of crazy how, I was about to say it, how we call the NBA players fat, y'all. Like, they're still in the NBA. We only call them fat because they're not as in shape as these other NBA players. I mean, I get it. You're making millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of yourself. But at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Them being fat or whatever is still in very good shape. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say that.
Team four times.
They're not really
With
fat.
This,
They just
he has yet again added his name.
Got a little weight on them.
Luka has made history, and I really want to.
If a regular person looks like Luka, no one's gonna call him fat. No one's gonna call him fat.
Emphasize just how tremendously impressive being named a top 5 player in the league 4 times in your first 5 years really is. For comparison, Hall of Famers such as Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Michael Jordan all had a mere 3. Players we remember as all-time young superstars such as LeBron James, only 2 first-team All-NBAs in their first 5 years. In the post-merger era, Luka joins Tim Duncan and Larry Bird as the only players to ever accomplish this feat. And this summer, we are now getting the news that Luka is looking a lot slimmer. We have seen just how tremendously impactful a good summer weight loss session can be. Not only did Nikola Jokic shed a lot of weight to become the MVP, but also this season Jokic has taken things to the next level.
Let me take back that statement I made. I can kind of see, I can understand why they're giving him slack, man. Because at the end of the day, they want to see these players be the best they can be, man. So do I. So I can understand in that sense. We want to see Luka be the best he can be. He can't
with
be the
his
best he can be
newfound
at that
weight
weight.
loss, with his newfound spryness, is leading the Denver Nuggets to the NBA championship. So what's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are in a Groundhog Year type of situation. Because last summer we also had a slim-looking Luka, and then we had what I would say is the most disappointing season of Luka's career so far. It is never a good thing to see a young superstar's career trajectory, at least when it comes to team success, go backwards, but that is what happened this year. The Dallas Mavericks missed out on the playoffs. They have seemingly bet it all on Kyrie Irving, and at this point, I think there needs to be some real urgency by the Dallas Mavericks to figure things out before it is too late. Overseas, Luka has his country of Slovenia ranked 7th in the entire world, and if you watch those national team games, he is a relentless captain on the entire world.
Wait, so you tell me USA not ranked #1?
And if you watch those national team games, he is a relentless captain on the
What's
court.
going on?
Willed his national team to huge wins at a very young age. What we have seen from Luka Doncic
USA,
time and
man.
time
What
again
we got
is that
going
he
on?
both loves and cares about basketball and winning. So yes, this last season was disappointing, but if Luka Doncic is really about to come back as an improved player with this weight loss, that is going to be scary for the rest of the NBA. Because I want to just take us back a season ago when Luka was on pace to still become the greatest young player in NBA history. In his first 5 seasons, Luka has averaged over 27 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds per game. That puts him among all-time historic company. Only Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James
That's good company. I ain't gonna lie, that's amazing company to be
5
with.
points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds per game during their first 5 seasons.
But before we continue, guys, I am very excited to say that this video is sponsored by my friends at DraftKings. And by guys, a new
They ain't pay me.
I-
So.
In my recent video about Victor Wembanyama, I looked into the GOAT race and determined what exactly it would take to be the NBA's GOAT. And throughout NBA history, it looks like the qualifications would be as follows: 4 championship wins, 6 title appearances, 4 MVPs, 10 first-team All-NBAs, and 14 All-Star appearances. These are, based on past history, the minimum threshold to really be considered the greatest of all time. With 4 first-team All-NBAs already, I'll just throw out the question: if Luka was on the Boston Celtics instead of Jason Tatum, if he had a roster that was competing at that level, don't we think with everything we have seen with Luka, there is a chance he'd be able to accomplish this? I will say I do, because more importantly to me, when Luka has at least a team that can get him to the playoffs, because Luka has not had much in Dallas. He has, again, statistically proven to be one of the best of all time, as in a 28 game sample size between the ages of 20 and 22. Luka has averaged 32.5 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 7.9 assists per game. Those numbers stand by themselves. However, to put them into perspective, in an NBA playoff basketball setting, Luka is one of only 2 players to have ever averaged at least 30 points and 7 assists between those ages. Throw away the rebounds. The other player is Michael Jordan. I could keep hitting us with lists like this. I really could. On the stat sheet and in terms of individual awards in the NBA, Luka looks amazing. But of course, stats are one thing. We need that playoff success. But that's where Luka has passed the eye test when he has a team as well. He has shown he wants all the pressure on him. He wants the ball in his hands.
He
with
definitely
the
rise to the occasion,
and he
man.
also will deliver when he's given the chance. He has the clutch moments to show for it.
Rises
Do we
to the
remember
occasion
that
for
in
a
his
fact.
first ever playoffs against a prime defensive healthy Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, which is an amazing defensive wing duo, in game 4 of the first round of the playoffs at the age of 21, Luka not only had 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists, but also he finished the game with this.
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls
So yeah, I
up
remember,
three-pointer.
remember that. That was different. That was different. Yo. There's a lot of crazy
buzzer
moments
beater
in the bubble.
playoffs. I know this was the bubble, but I mean, when LeBron knocked down his first game-winning buzzer beater in the playoffs, that shot was tremendously hyped. This shot by Luka has seemingly gone forgotten. I'm sure it will re-emerge when he is finally given a good team to compete with, and we are watching old playoff clips of him because also last season, Luka proved he is that guy against the top-seeded Phoenix Suns, a team that was playing for everything, a team that was playing for Chris Paul's legacy. An undermanned Dallas Mavericks team took a Game 5 loss and were down 3-2 when Devin Booker and Chris Paul certainly made things personal with Luka. Book was openly looking at the camera and calling Luka a crybaby, and so even after a loss,
27-point lead, down goes Johnson, 3, Luka, deep in his bag like the fries are at the bottom.
Luka Doncic is absolutely putting on a show.
Got it. I
this was
like
just
that
last
little.
season. Dallas won
What do you call those?
games 6
He
and
said
7
deep in
against the
deep in his
top-seeded
bag
Suns
like this
by
fries
a
at the
combined
bottom.
60 points. At this point, I feel like the fact that Luka did not play in the playoffs this year is a travesty. Looking back at Luka's career,
Nah, facts,
what
I ain't gonna lie.
is missing? Well,
Little bit
a
of
skinny Luka with
overseas,
all the success he's already had is certainly going to strike fear into the rest of the NBA as long as the Mavericks can get it together. At the end of the day, Nikola Jokic is showing us right now, you earn respect when you win a championship. Jokic was a 2-time MVP, but people are talking
That's a
about
fact.
him.
That's a fact. You earn respect when you win that championship, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, once he won that chip, I'm doing reaction to the highlights, all that. It's over. You know what I'm saying? That chip, yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
On a new level now.
Validate
The same thing
you.
applied to Giannis. Giannis was a
your
defensive player
greatness.
of the year and MVP before he won a title. But it was when he won a championship when everyone started putting the real respect on his name. And at this point with Luka, it's not about being the GOAT. It's about getting started and earning your place among the NBA greats where it matters the most on the playoff court. The fact that the Dallas Mavericks fumbled their roster this badly is not only inexcusable, again, to me, it is a bit frightening. Did you know that Tracy McGrady, before his injuries, was not only the player who Kobe Bryant famously said this about?
The guy that always gave me the most problems actually was Tracy McGrady. He had all the skills and all the athleticism, but he was 6'9", and he was really, really tough to figure out.
But that also, despite his injuries, T-Mac was still a 2-time member of the first team All-NBA and finished his career with 7 All-NBA selections in total. Twice, T-Mac finished 4th in the MVP voting. Meanwhile, Paul Pierce was never first team All-NBA and had 4 total All-NBA selections, and Dwayne Wade just finishes past T-Mac with 2 first team All-NBA selections but 8 total selections. My point being, when it comes to individual awards, T-Mac is right there with Dwayne Wade. Does anyone speak about T-Mac like that? No, and that is because after T-Mac left the Toronto Raptors, he emerged as a superstar for the Orlando Magic. T-Mac had joined Orlando thinking that he was signing with another megastar. As that summer, the Orlando Magic also bet it all on Grant Hill. He was, without a doubt, one of the best players in the NBA. This was supposed to be a superstar duo. Only unfortunately, Grant Hill would have one of the worst injuries we've ever seen. Hill was only able to play in 18 games during his first 2 seasons with T-Mac. And then in year 3, Hill was only able to play in 29 games. During this time, Orlando also almost signed Tim Duncan, as Duncan heavily considered leaving for Orlando and actually has said he may have swung that way. Only then head coach Doc Rivers fumbled the deal horribly. During a dinner with Tim Duncan, Grant Hill, and Doc Rivers told Tim Duncan's girlfriend that family was not allowed on the Orlando Magic's team plane. And according to Grant Hill, this is what swung Tim Duncan's decision. And I understand with Doc, a man has a code, I get it, but maybe buy a bigger plane with a cabin in the back for the Duncan family? Why don't you get 2 cabins in case his relatives want to stop by? It's Tim Duncan. So Tracy McGrady to me is the best example of a player who could have ended up as an all-time unforgettable legend if only things had gone a bit different. Between the ages of 23 and 24, T-Mac averaged 30.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. So at this point, the pictures of a skinny Luka are of course very promising. They show us what I think we already know though, that Luka Doncic loves basketball, he will do anything to win, and he has shown he has the relentless work ethic to do that. Every single summer that man is out here working. So at this point in time, I am sorry Mavs fans, but I will say it, Luka, give them one more chance, but we have watched Dallas make such bad moves. They had an all-star in Kristaps Porzingis on their team. Somehow they could never figure out what to do with him. But then with the Washington Wizards, averaged over 23 points per game on almost 50% shooting. The Mavs couldn't have used him this year? Or how about Jalen Brunson, the guy that helped Luka get to the Western Conference Finals? The Mavericks gave up on him and watched as Brunson led the Knicks to the 2nd round of the playoffs.
The Knicks did though, you know what I'm saying?
Traded Seth Curry to the Sixers for Josh Richardson. Luka would give about anything for Seth Curry on his roster right now. Instead, we've got a lot of guys who have been trying. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new,
that's the end of this one, y'all. If you enjoyed, share the video with your peoples on your social medias. Turn on post notifications. Click on the last reaction over here, and I'm out of here, man.